So we record these so that we can put these on our website and our YouTube channels. So I just want to introduce myself. I'm June Younger. I'm with the Commerce City Chamber. I'm the coordinator here and am the person that leads our leads group. And today we have Teri McDonald here with GFL Capital, but she is also just starting up a new Toastmasters International club here in Commerce City. So Teri, why don't you let us all know about what is going on with this great program? Oh, we need to.
Thank you, June.
There you go.
And thank you to the Commerce City Chamber of Commerce for giving me some airtime today. I really appreciate that. I'm going to start by sharing my screen. I have a PowerPoint presentation that will lead us through the entire piece. And let's see if I get that going here. There we go. Everyone see that okay? And I would like to also tell you that if you choose to, you can add comments to the chat if you have questions along the way. So, but let's get started. I am with GFL Capital. GFL Capital, I'm a wholesale lender. And so here's my plug for, and then we'll talk about Toastmasters. And that is what makes me different is that I have access to about 25 different lenders. So someone comes to me, I can find them the right mortgage, let's put it that way. And we're only checking their credit score one time, whereas if people shop around, their credit score is going to be hit multiple times. So that's what I do for business. Now let me go to the next slide. There we go. Toastmasters is an international organization. It is truly international with 143 countries now, and approximately 16,600 clubs around the world. And I've been a member of Toastmasters almost 12 years. They say that once you join Toastmasters, if you get everything out of Toastmasters, you can get out of Toastmasters. You'll never get out of Toastmasters. And that is because I have found a number of friends around the world. And I think it's really important that I am able to connect and have friends around the world. So, anyone who wants to go on international travel, when you have friends, you can go visit people. And I just wanted to talk about Toastmasters. Debbie Fields said this, getting in front of a group as Mrs. Fields, but as Debbie, made my knees shake. But Toastmasters group understood. And here's a place where you can learn, grow, and develop. And I'm just wondering if there are people out here listening that have the fear of public speaking. You're okay talking one-to-one to people, or maybe in a group that you're comfortable with. Maybe it's the Rotary group that you're very comfortable with, but then you have to go speak somewhere else. Well, that's what Toastmasters can help you with. I have, let me just a little story. In my background, I just thought that I was going to become an author. And I was talking to Brian Tracy on the phone, the world famous author. And I asked him, well, how do you get up in front of a whole bunch of strangers? And he said, you want to hone those skills, go find a Toastmasters club. So I followed his advice. I have written a book. I haven't published it yet, but I have overcome the fear of public speaking now, and I actually thrive on that. Now, let's talk about what is Toastmasters. Well, it's an international, as I mentioned before, world leader in not only communication and public speaking, but in leadership development. And it's headquartered right here in the greater Denver metro area in Inglewood. And how does this Toastmasters work? Well, you prepare speeches. There is a program to follow that helps you along with your development. The first speech that you would do in a Toastmaster club is called the Icebreaker. And what that does is allow you to get in front of a room and just get comfortable with speaking. You get to talk about your favorite subject, you. You get to talk about who you are and maybe why you wanted to join Toastmasters. There's constructive evaluation. People give you feedback, and it's positive feedback. It's not, oh, you're horrible at this. It's positive in the way that, hey, you did this really well. Maybe you can consider working on this skill where I can see some improvement. You get the opportunity to lead meetings, and you get an opportunity to do impromptu speaking. Now, impromptu speaking, think of that as someone asking you a question. What do you do for business? How do you find clients? In that respect, you get a practice at Toastmasters in answering those questions and thinking on your feet and putting it together a concise, easy speech that you are able to answer coherently. There is a formal education program, but you get to work at your own pace. You have feedback from your fellow club members, and you get the opportunity to mentor and to be mentored. And I think that's very important. We don't have enough mentors in this world today. And so here Toastmaster has the ability to give you a mentor, or as you grow, you are able to help the next person coming up and learning how to speak proficiently. Okay, so let's talk about benefits. You get to develop critical thinking skills, listening skills. I love talking about listening skills. I have, way back when, before I joined Toastmasters, I was always thinking about what was my answer to that question, to whatever that person was saying. I was thinking about that, and I wasn't really listening. Well, now I take the time to listen because I've developed those listening skills, and I will come up with really good questions when someone asks me, what did you think of that? You know, how can I improve things? Relationships. Let me talk about relationships. I mentioned that I have friends around the world. It's true. We were in the process of moving, and I had some people in the car helping me, and I got a phone call, and it rang through the speaker on the phone, and I answered it. And it was this gentleman from Australia that I had met the year before. And the guys that were in the car with me, I could hear them going, "Oh my God, she's got a call from Australia." And it was really gratifying that I impressed these guys that were helping me, but more so is like someone from Australia cared to take the time to give me a call to congratulate me on my move. And we had, I didn't continue the conversation in the car, but I told them that I would call back. That's the building those relationships. Now, I also want to hit on a bullet point here about being more confident in front of a group. I have, after 12 years, I have developed the skills that if you ask me to speak, not only on Zoom, but if I had to get up in front of an audience of 50 to 100 people, if I knew what I was going to talk about and had some time to prepare, I wouldn't hesitate to get up on the stage. Now, how does that benefit you? Well, if you're in a networking group, for example, and they ask you to give a presentation, wouldn't it feel better to know that you have the confidence to build to get up there and speak and talk about your business. That's what I'm looking forward to doing here in Commerce City, is getting to know more people and building their skills, and so that we can have better meetings and we can get up and talk to people, groups of people. Toastmasters has empowered me by giving me the right tools to grow personally and professionally. This is just a member who's been a member just a little bit, almost as long as I have, but we have members around the world. Did I mention 16,000 clubs? Every club has approximately, to start a club, you have to have 20 members. And so multiply that out and you'll know that how many people are in Toastmasters. Here's some of the past leaders in Toastmasters. You might recognize these names. I think I talked about Debbie Fields earlier, Chris Matthews from Hardball on MSNBC. Leonard Nimoy was a Toastmaster as well as an actor. He gained a lot of experience from Toastmasters. Also, you can see the names, several astronauts were part of Toastmasters. Let me tell you about when Toastmasters started, because I didn't do that. Toastmasters is almost 100 years old. It was started by a gentleman by the name of Ralph Smedley, who worked for the YMCA in the Midwest. His bosses said, you need to do something to help these young men speak better, so that they can present themselves, so that they can go get some jobs. Now, this was back in the 1920s. The official first club of Toastmasters started out in California in 1924 in the Southern California area, and it has been going ever since. There's a lot that Dr. Ralph Smedley has taught us. I have 2 of his books. He's no longer with us, but there is a number of, let's say, leaders around the world that have recognized the benefits of Toastmasters. Toastmasters is also in companies such as UPS. They have a large Toastmasters presence. NASA, as you can see, with the astronauts, PepsiCo, Amazon, GE, and those are the recognizable companies that are part of Toastmasters, but there are a lot of smaller companies. And you don't have to be a corporation to have a Toastmasters club. I actually am part of 2 community clubs. And a community club, what is a community club? A community club is a group of people that have gotten together and they want to have a Toastmasters club for the benefit of the community, for anyone who wants to join. Myself, I want to have a Toastmaster club right here in Commerce City, and we'll talk about that, more about that in a minute. But what I'm going to do is I want to open it up to any questions. We're going to I have a slide here for Q&A. I know there's a number of you. If you want to unmute yourself or put something in the chat box, that would be great. I want to see if there are any questions about Toastmasters. I know I covered that pretty fast.
I do not have any questions. This is Kelsey with Fleet. I am definitely somebody, though, that does not like to speak in groups, so it's probably something that would be an interest to me.
Okay, great. Did I describe a club meeting enough for you guys?
Teri, I think that would be great. And can you also go over the fees?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. the club meetings, a typical Toastmasters meeting, if it's in a corporate environment, it's usually in a workplace. In a business. There's several along Highway 25 and down in the Denver metro area. However, a Toastmasters meeting will go from an hour to an hour and a half, depending on the club, and the club sets the rules. And a typical Toastmasters meeting will have an organized agenda. That's actually one of the benefits, is they start the meeting on time, they end the meeting on time, and they follow an agenda. We like to have everyone has a role, and typically in a good size club being 20, 25 people, although we have a lot of clubs that range from 12 to 40. A typical club will have a Toastmaster. That's like the MC of the club. They're going to run just that meeting. They will have 3 prepared presentations so that as members are working through their skills and their goals, that maybe they're giving an icebreaker speech, that's an introductory speech. Maybe they're giving a storytelling speech. And these speeches are going to be from 5 to 7 minutes. And then there will be an impromptu speaking section where we call this table topics, where table topics master will come up, and based on whatever the theme of the meeting is, they'll ask some questions. We had a real fun one on Halloween. That was on the 28th. Everyone was dressed in costume, and the table topics master had these bags, and you had to put your hand in the bag and then talk about what you felt. That was a lot of fun. And sometimes it is based on the thought of the day. And then the third part of the meeting is an evaluation. We will have someone specifically get up and give an evaluation about the speech they heard, specifically one speaker. And we have a formula that we use. You want to tell what you saw, how you felt, and how they can improve it, and then wrap it up with some words of encouragement. So it's a very positive meeting, and everyone likes to have fun. And the members that I have been in, we're currently in 2 chapters right now in the area. One is in Colorado Springs. It's a full-time Zoom meeting, and the other one's in person in Aurora. And that's kind of far to go for Aurora to go once a week to a meeting. And that's why I want to have a club here in Commerce City. So now let's talk about you asked about the fees. Toastmasters is a nonprofit. There is an international organization above us, and typically the minimum fee is $45 for 6 months. That's $750 a month. And then the clubs will set their own fee on top of that, depending if they're renting a space or they are just needing additional things to do, things like potlucks or special events or going on different trips or picnics and things like that. They'll have additional fees. My experience has been that clubs may charge $8 a month or $5 a month. So it's very nominal. And if you are in a meeting space that the meeting space is free, for example, then it might be an additional $2 a month. So you're looking at $51 for 6 months. And that's it. So it's not cost prohibitive for most people. Now, I mentioned that I wanted to let me ask, are there any other questions? No more questions.
I had just one, and I'm sorry, you might have explained it already, but how are the clubs formed? Is it just people in our area, or how are the clubs created? Like, how do we know who's gonna be in it, or?
That's a good question, Kelsey. I am actually go to my next slide. So let's talk about that. Yeah, very good timing.
All right.
So as June mentioned, not only am I a mortgage loan officer, but I am a Toastmaster and have been for a long time. I would like to have a club here in Commerce City to benefit the people of Commerce City. Yeah, in my mind, it would be a community club. That means that anyone who found out about Toastmasters could come and join us. In order to start a club, there's three things that I need. I need to find a meeting place, which I've been looking around. Ideally, it's a meeting place is going to be a community center, a church that has a place for about 20 people. You want to have 20 people to start a club, and then that will rotate. People will come and go. They always do. And ideally for me personally is a Tuesday evening, like around 6:45, 7 o'clock. I have been in clubs that are first thing in the morning, where people like get together and have breakfast and then go off to work. I have seen clubs at lunchtime, but I have found that the clubs that flourish the most meet in the evenings. Now, it doesn't mean that it has to be on a Tuesday evening. Tuesday happens to be an ideal time for me. And since I'm starting the club, I think I'm just putting it out there into the world. Toastmasters clubs generally happen anywhere from Monday through Thursday. It's very rare to see a Friday meeting because people want to go spend time on Friday evenings with their family. And then Saturday morning, and no Toastmasters clubs happen on a Sunday. Now, I'm going to ask for some input. And that is, Kelsey, I think that I hear that you are interested. Anyone have any suggestions, ideas? And by the way, I've lived in Commerce City for a total of 4 or 5 months. So I am new to Commerce City and I don't have all the connections that some of you like Renee have. And so I would like to hear, do you think that it would be feasible to start a Toastmaster club here? And any suggestions or ideas for a meeting place or where I should look?
Hey, Terry, this is Maria Carbajal. So South Adams, I work for South Adams County Fire, and up at Station 8 on 103rd and Walden, we have a community room that might work for something like this. So if you're interested, or anyone else in the group, we can go take a look at it. And right now we have some Girl Scouts that are using it, but it holds about probably 75, 80 people there.
Oh, wow.
And it has a separate entrance. It has a bathroom. We have tables, chairs. Renee, you've been in that building before, so if that's something that you guys think might work, we can definitely offer that.
Okay. I'd love to connect with you, Maria, because I think it's really important to be able to find a place that's more central. We did visit a church which was in Henderson, and I thought, no, I want one in Commerce City, and I want it to be easy access for people that would want to join. You know, you don't necessarily want to have it all the way at the top of the city, and you don't want to have it all the way at the south of the city. So 103rd Street and Walden sounds like a good location. I'd love to connect with you on that. Anywhere else? Any other ideas about how to find some people that might be interested?
For our general meeting, you will also at the fire station number 1 down in the southern part of the city.
Yep.
That we had. And also Our Savior Lutheran Church has a community hall that I think would be, I don't know when it's available. You would have to find out through them, but I think that it would be big enough for either one of those, but they're both in the southern part of the city. I'm trying to tell you the truth, when you said Henderson is Commerce City in certain parts of it. So if you were in Henderson over in River Run or anything and they call it Henderson, that is basically Commerce City, but it has a Henderson mailbox address. That's why they call it Henderson.
Thank you for that, Renee. I didn't know that. That's my, I kind of, I'm looking at the name Commerce City and trying to make sure that I am not, creating something that people think are too far out of reach. So thank you for that information.
I'm just throwing this out there, and I don't even know if this would work, but maybe do either rotating half the year up north, half the year down south, or every other month, or once a quarter, do up north and the other one down south. Just an idea.
That's a good suggestion. I was thinking kind of along the same lines to kind of rotate it as well. North, as you cover north and south.
Right, exactly. And then I think you would get more interest if we were able, again, I don't know if we're able to, but if we were able to get 2 locations.
That's a good idea. And I think that would be feasible with Fire Station 1 and possibly looking at the location on 103rd and Walden. That would still keep it within the fire station and north and south. I think that's a great idea. And you're on to something, Sandra, because I believe that it was suggested to me that we want to be inclusive and have one club in Commerce City to start, not have a north one and not have a south one, because we want to bring the city together. And we want to have the opportunities for people to get to know other people within the city and not just live here and commute down to Denver or to the airport or other places. And I think that's part of what a Toastmasters club can do, is not only help people improve their speaking and leadership skills, but continue to build community. And I'm all about that. Okay. I know that I have kept it short. I gave you a lot of information. If you like this PowerPoint presentation, I'm happy to send it to June. And if June wants to send it out, that's great. Or you can email me. My information is, there we go. There's my information again. My email's on there. And I would love to connect with anyone who's interested. Obviously, this is not business related. This is just building Toastmasters right here in Commerce City.
Hey, June, do we have this like in the newsletter or anything? Or I know this was just informational, but do we have or can we put something up to see if we can drum up some interest within our business owners that, we're going to have one here, possibly if we get enough people?
We can put this into member news and see if there's any interest.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, great. Well, let me thank you everyone for taking the time today. And I'm just going to turn this back. I'm going to stop sharing and turn this back over to June. June?
Yep.
Okay, all yours.
Okay, well, thank you, Teri, for that presentation. And I really do believe, making it available in the north and the south is crucial for our city, because just like with our leads group, that's what I do. I try to, meet one time up north and then come back down to the south, because we want to bring everyone together. We are one city, and things like this that can bring us together. So I'm glad that you're kind of figuring that out, and hopefully that will work out with the fire department. And Maria, that's great that you would offer the services of the fire department there. Just a quick, we can do kind of a leads thing if we would like, just to kind of introduce everybody. Kelsey, would you like to say, where you're working, what your job position is, and just tell us a little bit about your company?
Yeah, of course. My name is Kelsey. I work with Fleet Management Services. We are over here off 56th and Fairfax, and we maintenance fleet vehicles, and we work with all different types of people, so leasing companies or direct bills, insurance, all that. And I am the new sales lady over here. I was the office manager and AR manager for about 3 years, but I'm taking on a new role. So I'm excited to learn about all the new things and everyone in Commerce City, and hopefully we can find some new fleets for us.
Well, thanks, Kelsey. I think it's great that you have stepped up into this role. I know we've had other people from your business, but I hope that you can continue to come to our different meetings, whether it's meeting here on Zoom or meeting somewhere in the community. But we just welcome you.
Of course, I appreciate it. Thank you, June.
Sandra, would you like to say a little bit about yourself and your company?
Sure. My name is Sandra Escobar. I am with US Bank. Been a lender there for going on a year now. And prior to that, I've been in retail banking for over 10 years. I've been with the Commerce City Chamber going on 2 years now. And I think this is a great opportunity for the community in Commerce City. And like June said, I'm just going to repeat that. I obviously think that we need to be inclusive. And if we can get, the north end to south to pretty much let us know what they're interested in, I think we're going in the right direction. Teri, how are you going to keep track of, or how do you keep track, I should say, of the people that are interested? Are you going to have a sign-up sheet, or what are you thinking?
Well, I am, first of all, getting the location is the first thing for me. Once I have a location, we're gonna drum up some interest. I wrote down that Kelsey was interested, and am I hearing that you're interested too?
Yes, I am. I'm very interested.
Okay, and so it's a matter of gathering names and emails, I assume, so that we can get some, I want to have what we call a kickoff meeting. A kickoff meeting will demonstrate Toastmasters, what a Toastmasters meeting is. It's a little bit about like what we did today, but not as targeted. So I actually in Colorado, it's District 26 of Toastmasters, which covers Wyoming, Colorado, and a little bit of New Mexico. And I've asked the leadership team for a specific role, and I am what we call the kickoff chair. And so I'm not only doing this for me, but I'm helping the district for Toastmasters. And what we do is we do a kickoff meeting. So in that meeting, I explain the more in depth of the history of Toastmasters. We do a half-hour demonstration. We bring in someone to give a speech and someone to give an evaluation from the people that are existing Toastmasters. Then we get everyone up to speak and we see if there's enough interest to start a club then and there. And that's how we start clubs. And yes, you're right. I'm going to have to start keeping a list of people that are interested here in Commerce City. Likewise, if June is going to put something in the member news, I'll have to work with her on how people can indicate their interest and how to reach out to me.
Well, I will direct them to you. If there's in the, the blurb that we will put in member news, if they're interested, they can contact you directly.
Okay. And I will be reaching out to Maria after this meeting to see if we can schedule a time to go look at the second site. I do know what Renee was right in saying that I was at the chamber meeting. I really liked that location, but I thought I had to talk to the chief and he left. So.
Yeah, he did have to leave. He called me right after, and he felt bad he had to leave, but he said it was a very good event, and everyone was real nice. He said it was a real nice spread with food, and I'm just sorry to miss that I was in Tucson. So
and by the way, the chief is a good speaker. I really enjoy it.
He is a very good speaker. Yeah, he has that gift.
Well, that sounds like a mentor to me, right? Maria, do you want to say a little bit about yourself and the fire department?
Yeah, so Maria Carbajal, Public Relations for South Adams County Fire. I've been with the department for about 4.5 years, and I grew up in the community, so it was nice to get back to my roots and doing things in the community that I grew up in that I could help support. And, I do a lot of communications, working between a lot of our partners, a lot of our, business partners, nonprofits, our firefighters, and, a lot of our community events. So, just kind of my background. I just really love connecting with people, and, this sounds really interesting. So I'd love to be able to network and find some more information, and whatever I could do to help, if it's providing, space and attending the events, you can count me in. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Maria. And Alex from Aspen Insurance. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Alex.
Hi, guys. Alex Obando here with Aspen. Yes, got my attention, the email you sent to June, and we're here in 70 seconds. We've been in Commerce City for 13 years. My agency is, and I'm always, trying to get a little time to networking and, get to know other people and other companies and other ways of doing better, working better. So I put my information there on the chat. Be interested in, assisting and cooperating with whatever I can. So thank you for the invitation, and I'm definitely interested.
Well, thank you, Alex. And thanks for joining us. I think this is probably the first time you've joined us on a Zoom meeting.
Yes, I'm not that savvy with this technology and Zoom and all of that. I'm mostly working all the time, but I'm getting to know a little bit of the, Zoom meetings and all of this, trying to learn. So, but I'm hopefully doing good. I see my microphone here, and I think on the video, and I try to hit some bottoms here, but I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. So hopefully I'm not messing up anything, But thank you for the invitation. And I'm, it's definitely, the first time that I'm joining one of those meetings with the Commerce City Chambers of Commerce. Yes.
Thank you so much. And you're not messing up anything. Renee, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you, June. My name is Renee Bullock. I'm the Executive Director of the Commerce City Chamber of Commerce. And I want to thank you, Teri, for that presentation today. It was a great presentation. And I truly do believe that Toastmasters will do great in Commerce City, because not just with the interest we have here, but I think there's a lot more interest out there with people that have this hesitancy to speak before crowds, that this would be a great organization for them to learn and improve their speaking abilities. So thank you very much for this presentation. And we're really going to promote this, because I know a few people that I would recommend joining this, because I would recommend it. That's how I'll leave that. But thank you all for attending today. I love the crowd that we have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Renee.
Yes, thank you everyone who joined us today. And if you know of anyone that might be interested, send them Teri's way. This video and her presentation will be going up, like I said, on the Chamber YouTube channel, as well as on the website. So, if they want to refer back to it, that would be, just send them to those two places and they will get the same kind of information that we talked about today. And so we hope that, this all works out and it will be good. It will be good for the community, be good for, the business owners as well as the community at large. So I want to thank everyone. If anyone else has any more, anything they'd like to say, please, kind of raise your hand or unmute yourself. If not, I will say thank you everyone for joining us today, and we will see you at our next chamber event.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Take care.